Hey, God bless you. How you doing? Just going to do a short live stream. I have a sleeping baby here, so I've got to keep my voice down. But I was telling Luke about it earlier. It's a cool revelation. If you already know it, switch off. But we often talk, as Christians who know that we have unclean spirits in the flesh, we often talk about Paul's thorn in the flesh as a proof that Christians have demons, have unclean spirits, evil spirits, whatever you want to call them, spirits that dwell in the flesh. And, you know, if the most prolifically exposed apostle through all his epistles, with all his thoughts, revelations, Peter said, you know, some of the things he wrote were so hard to understand, but the truth is there, a lot of it. And one of the things I've been musing on is this thorn in the flesh. And I feel like I've had breakthrough on it. So I think often, because the Lord says my grace is sufficient, because Paul prayed for this thorn in the flesh, which he called a messenger of Satan, sent to buffet him, it was tormenting him, right? Prayed for it 3 times to go, and the Lord didn't take it. He just said, my grace is sufficient for you. And then Paul talks about how he glories now in his weaknesses, because that's where the Lord's strength is shown. For me, this is very easy to interpret as, oh, well, you know, it is what it is, Paul. My grace is sufficient. Just go on your way, carry on. You know, I'll do whatever I want. But actually, I think the implication is deeper, and it's to do with the fact that the reason Paul can now glory in his weaknesses is because the Lord left that spirit there to buffet him, lest he become proud. I mean, that's literally what it says, that, you know, so he doesn't get ahead of himself. Because if everything's totally eradicated from the flesh and you're sinlessly perfect, as some people would put it, there's no evil spirits in you at all now, there's reason to believe that you're better than other people. So there's that. Second of all, the revelation I feel like I had was that the Lord leaves these spirits there even when we ask for them to go, because he wants us actually to overcome them of our own volition. The temptations are there. Are you going to listen? Are you going to deny the flesh? Right? Literally resist the devil, and then he'll flee. When it says he'll flee there, it doesn't necessarily mean it will come out. He'll just wait for another opportune time, like Satan did with Jesus in the wilderness, right? And I think this is a very helpful thing, because often we can lament, can't we, that, oh Lord, please take these spirits away. I can't handle it. I can't, you know, I don't know if I can cope, blah, blah, blah. But actually what the Lord wants is for us to know how they attack and then resist them. And crucify it daily, and learn their tactics. Know that feeling of when it rises, when you're in the situation where Satan will take advantage of weakness, to actually learn what it feels like for a spirit to rise, and then actively resist it, right? Whether it's lust, anger, anxiety, depression, whatever it is, you learn because the spirits move the flesh. That's why it can feel good. Spirits can move the flesh, right? Men know all about that, right? Literally, the flesh can be moved, right? But you know, Satan has all sorts of different hooks in different people, according to the lusts of the flesh that person particularly has. One lust might not work for another, you know, person. You know, homosexual thoughts, for example, do nothing for me, but you know, when I'm tempted to be offended, that really does catch me, you know, because there's an element of pride there that I need to stifle and learn how it attacks. And I was, you know, for me this is a major thing, and I meditate on it a lot, and I'm thinking the Lord's saying to me, my grace is sufficient. And when he says that, it's learn how they attack. When you get it wrong, there's grace. But keep going, keep learning, keep resisting. Don't do it willfully if you can help it at all. Don't do it willfully, right? But learn how it rises, learn how the situations you're going to be caught in, and then my grace is sufficient. I'll cover it, but you need to continually, daily resist it. So I thought that was a good observation. Hopefully it blesses you. If the Lord had taken everything out when we first got saved, as people say, or baptized or whatever, and now there's literally nothing in the flesh is totally clean, there's an element where you can really truly believe you're better than other people. And I believe this is why the Lord left the thorn, or the angelos of Satan, the angel of Satan, in Paul's flesh, was to buffet him from being proud. And he does the same for us. Like, don't ever be tempted to think that you are better than anybody else in that way. We're all sinners. Anyone who says they have no sin in them, or they've never sinned, doesn't have the truth in them, right? So hopefully that's a blessing, and peace be with you.